What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Action Jack-0ffs, the podcast where we talk about the very best and favorite action movies of all time. I say podcast, but because we're typically under an hour. Is it still a podcast if it's under an hour?
Think so.
I think it counts, right? I mean, we're still doing the things that you do on a podcast. You talk about
We're
stuff.
still we're still having a quasi radio show. We're
Quasi.
still we're still talking. There's not a bunch of visuals or anything. It's just audio. So I believe it's a podcast. It's a podcast about action movies, and we're back talking about Kung Fu Hustle. Who
Yeah.
the fuck?
Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So our boy, Marvelous Misadventure, suggested
Marv!
we were gonna get him on the podcast. And I'm gonna go ahead and open the flame right here. I'm gonna open with the flaming. He was like, he set the day, he set the movie, he picked the movie, and then today we were getting ready to do it, and I, for the life of me, cannot get a hold of him.
Hey, they just don't make things like they used to, you know?
They just don't.
We used to make things in this country.
They just don't make shit like they used to, and cannot get a hold of him. So we're starting, unfortunately, without him. He will not be here, but we're still going to talk about the movie he suggested because that's the movie we watched for this episode. Episode 28, I believe. We're on 28.
We're almost to the next ranking.
Yep, we're almost up to the next tier list, so that'll be nice. That'll be fun. I always like doing that stuff. Anyway, Kung Fu Hustle, directed by Stephen Chow. It is a 2004 film, Hong Kong 2004 film that you already have some feelings about. You were letting me know.
Hey, I'm not saying there's super strong feelings, but I had to put my phone in the other room.
Oh, yeah?
I was every few minutes. If there wasn't if there wasn't a crazy stunt or a silly special effect happening, I started to lose interest. But there was stuff. There was stuff that was just for me.
Well, that's the funny thing, too, is there's really not a whole lot of dead air in between the action scenes and the comedy.
It's the expository stuff that they try to be like, there's a story happening here. There's not.
Yeah, like the main character's got like a backstory and he's got like a love
Yeah,
interest, kind of.
the fucking lollipop. I spit on the ground.
Yeah, the lollipop girl, the ice cream
I don't know.
girl.
Yeah, the ice cream girl. I don't know if I just am not as well versed in Eastern storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
but this made no fucking sense. Can
Tell
you
me
please explain to me the plot of this movie, just so that I can?
Okay, I got you. So, plot of the movie is, well, let's see. I'll give you what IMDb says the plot of the movie is, and then I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think. No, I'll tell you what I think the plot of the movie is. In Shanghai, China, in the 1940s, a wannabe gangster aspires to join the notorious Axe Gang, while residents of while the residents of a housing complex exhibit extraordinary powers in defending their turf. That, I think, does not do justice to what the actual plot of the movie is. So you've got
That's like the first 10 minutes.
That's like the first 10 minutes. That's the setup, kind of, right? Because, I mean, in the first half of the movie, we've pretty much already gone through. I'll just get into it. So you've got this guy. His name is Singh, and him and his buddy are going around trying to intimidate people because they want to be gangsters. They want to be gangsters, and they're pretending to be gangsters.
They want to be in the Axe Gang.
Yes, they want to be a part of this notorious gang called the Axe Gang, and this is a comedically huge gang that's got like thousands of members in it, and they all use axes,
amazing outfits,
and it's really funny.
The top hats, dude.
Nice touch. It's a nice touch, and they go to this really poor area of Shanghai, trying to intimidate the local residents, trying to get money out of them and such like that. And when they try to intimidate these people, the people tend to be a lot more like The residents they're trying to intimidate are a lot more capable than they initially thought, including the landlady and such. And in being caught up trying to intimidate these people, they actually garner the attention of the real Axe Gang. So the Axe Gang shows up trying to now intimidate these residents. The landlady basically just kind of gets involved here. Or it's not the landlady. It's like one of the it's one of the other residents or something. Somebody does something. I think it's the landlady that punches the
The
guy and
landlady
breaks
runs
his
away at this
back.
point.
She's run away at this point, but she did something, I thought. But anyway, the Axe King starts attacking the residents. That's when you have these three kung fu masters that come out and just start beating the shit out of the Axe Gang.
Which was incredible to watch. Very fun.
Can we both just agree that the action in this movie is actually really good?
It's like kind of good.
It's pretty good. I mean, for
when it's real people doing real stuff, it's really good. When it's the weird quasi special effect mixed with the practical effect, I don't know what the fuck they were
you don't know how to
thinking.
feel about it. I like it.
I don't, it
I
just
like the
doesn't.
over the top nature of it.
Me too. Like parts of it, like when she slaps the kid, when the landlady slaps the kid who's like, "There's still shampoo in my hair," and he like comedically like turns into Gumby and like flies away.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that slaps. That's funny.
yeah.
Whenever
It's pretty
she's
good.
beating up her husband and he like falls 30 feet
Oh
and
my
just pops
god.
onto concrete.
Yeah,
Like that's pretty funny.
it's
I get
funny.
it.
Yeah,
I get it.
the effect is kind of terrible, but it's pretty funny.
I know it's like it's just so weird where you're just like, oh well that's clearly like that's like worse than the Abyss special effects.
Okay, to be fair, The Abyss was a movie made on like $100 million budget or some shit like that, and
I
this
know, in 10 years before this movie.
10 years, yeah, probably more than that, right? It was like
It's like
89,
I was yeah, some almost 20 years
something like
before.
that. Yeah. Anyway,
Something like that.
and basically in the process of these kung fu masters beating up the Axe Gang and the Axe Gang kind of like fleeing for their life, the boss of the Axe Gang is like, we got to go back and we got to like kill these guys. Well, they hire like these assassins that play music.
Which was so silly. It reminded me a lot of the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
How's that?
There's just a scene in the Multiverse of Madness where they fight with music.
Oh yeah, yeah, where he's fighting the evil Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's probably one of those things where this inspired that, but seeing it in the reverse thing, I was just like, huh.
Yeah. It's a cool scene
This
though.
reminds.
It's silly, but it's a cool scene. Like whenever like one of the kung fu masters, the guy that does like all the kicks and stuff is like walking away from the resident like the apartment complex, and that guy is just playing the strings by himself, and you can see behind the kung fu master like all these little things getting split in half. It was just like,
Yeah,
and then like you see like
the
this
spear getting split in half was
y-
pretty cool.
yeah, oh yeah, I mean I think that's a really good action sequence, and that's
I like that
when
it's at night.
it's good. It looks good at night. Um, and then you
The
have
lions, the lions howl. We didn't know.
yeah the landlord and the landlady get involved, and turns out they're kung fu masters as well, and they're like even better kung fu
Turns out they're
masters.
ghost moves.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then they're so good that the Axe Gang they defeat the musician assassins, and then the Axe Gang goes away, and then the Axe Gang is like, we gotta like free the Beast, who is like that's his name. That's his name.
I know. It's just so funny.
They gotta
And
free.
like this guy with that all the hair he has left is like a Padawan braid that's unbraided,
Yeah,
and he's the beast.
yeah, and they get him. They have to recruit, and this is what's so funny is like our main character almost has like nothing to do with any of this.
Not until like the last 10 minutes.
Not until they're like, we got to free the Beast. So they hire Stephen Chow, also the director, plays the main character. So they get the main character Sing to, because he's a really good lockpick, and so they get him
which we
to,
see so much in this film.
yes, there's
It's
a lot.
well established.
It's well they made an entire scene dedicated to just talking about that specifically.
Let me tell you what the scene I like the most before we continue this. Whenever he gets stabbed 3 times with the knives and then bitten by snakes
Yeah.
was the best part of this movie. They stab him the one time and I'm like, well, there's 3 knives. We're
Yeah.
they're all gonna get into him eventually.
Yeah.
But then he just picked up a box of snakes randomly, and that's the point where I was like, all right, this movie's on drugs, but I like it. And then
Yeah.
it never got back to that same level of hilarious for me.
No, yeah. I mean, the comedy I think is like hit or miss. I think we talked about something like this whenever we did the Police Story episode, and we were like,
Also, the
there's
director is the star.
the director, yeah, that's what I said, with Stephen Chow being the main character as well, as a director. But that's something we did talk about whenever we did the Police Story episode, is like there is some sort of like disconnect between the humor in Hong Kong movies and like normal Western movies, like American movies, that's probably lost on us.
Most of it I got in this time.
Yeah.
I just wish I was more of saying that it wasn't more of saying that the comedy and everything didn't get to that level again. I just wanted the movie to be that the whole
Oh, you
time.
just wanted it to be that the whole time. What did it evolve into for you?
It just seemed like it turned into Dragon Ball Z towards the end.
Which is so funny that you mentioned that, which is true. I agree. I mean, like by the time we get to the end of the movie, they're doing
Like the hand going, making the imprint on the ground and through
yeah,
the thing. I was just like, man, he's just doing a high on these motherfuckers.
yeah. Once it got to that point, I definitely see what you're saying. What's so funny about you mentioning Dragon Ball Z is that Stephen Chow was actually a producer on the movie Dragon Ball Evolution.
Ugh, you can see it. Ugh, I wondered why this movie had a bad taste.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Sing is hired to free the Beast. The Beast comes out. The Beast is apparently like super epic, super awesome kung fu martial arts master, and he actually beats the landlord and the landlady in a fight.
Incredible stuff.
And you know what's interesting? So towards the end of the movie, like right at the end of the movie, the person who has to defeat the Beast is Sing, because it turns out Sing is a secret martial arts master who's so gifted. He's the chosen one. He's so gifted at martial arts.
Instinct.
Yes, he unlocks Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, Super Saiyan Blue, all that good shit. And
I'm so lonely.
yeah, yeah, he whips out the conquest on this guy and beats him successfully and wins, saves the day, and then opens up his own lollipop shop.
Meets the girl who's been in 2 scenes and is mute.
Yes, and is like his love interest, I guess, or they're just friends, maybe.
Did he glue the lollipop back together, or was I just on drugs?
I think they glued the lollipop back together.
That's so stupid.
But what's so interesting about Sing turning out to be like a martial arts master and like super powered by the end of the movie is it's actually like foreshadowed a couple of times. Like how he's like his friend makes a comment about how he always manages to like heal really quickly when he's injured, or whenever we see him healing from his wounds, like in that I don't know why they have like a hideout. This movie is so difficult to describe. They have a hideout in the traffic light, and like while he's healing, he's like punching holes. He's like punching holes in this like I guess like iron wall around the traffic light. You'd have to watch the movie to really like visualize what it is I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just really funny how it all worked out. funny enough, the action sequences, some of the action sequences, especially the ones including the three kung fu masters, the tailor, the d- uh the the noodle shopkeeper, and the guy that does the
Donut.
kicks. Yeah, Donut. I will not call the other guy by his one name because I believe that's a racial slur for for Chinese people. So I'm I'm not gonna say it.
There's,
But you know
there
what?
was a few things in this movie where I was like, gosh, 2004?
Yeah. Oh, dude, nobody cared in 2004.
I know. I was like, God, it used to be the Wild West.
Yeah, for sure. But the director of the action scenes starring those three guys um is actually Sammo Hung, who, if you're not familiar with that, Sammo Hung is a famous Hong Kong actor and stuntman who worked with Jackie Chan a lot and has been in a lot of Jackie Chan movies and a lot of his own solo films. Um, most, I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, but I also know him as one of the main characters from Ip Man 2. And, I love to sing the praises of Ip Man.
All you want to talk about is it, man.
Yeah, that might have to be its own episode at some point in the future. Um, since now that we've like broken bread with the martial arts movies.
I mean, if we're gonna keep watching these ones, we get a really good one in there or something.
Ip Man's pretty good. Ip Man's pretty good.
If you say so.
Have you ever seen it?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, we'll be on the same page soon enough. Um,
I mean, does it have a scene where the main character is calling out a bunch of people and they keep getting bigger and weirder every time he calls one out?
no,
Because that scene's pretty goated too.
yeah,
The guy sitting down who's 7'3" probably had to get assisted to that seat.
yeah. He's like, hey you. What does he say? He's like, hey you, stand up, shorty. And the guy stands up. He's like
Yeah.
7 feet tall.
He's like,
And
never mind. I was talking to the guy with glasses over there. What about you? Muscly as hell.
yeah,
All right, kid. Also muscly as
he's
hell.
like, ah man, none of you guys can fight. I'm not gonna sully my hands with any of you.
Landlady.
The landlady
It's
character
so
is,
funny.
is pretty funny.
The first person he calls out, who's just like the lady farmer who punches him and immediately he spits out blood. I was just like, that's anime as hell.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty. I mean, there's a lot of like anime
Like,
esque.
what do you do? I'm a farmer.
Yeah. She's like, a farmer, you can't fight. Get out of here. Yeah,
You're like, you're a lady.
yeah. It's pretty good.
After he's literally coughing up his spleen.
I do like the oh God, what was it? I do like how with man, I lost it.
You got it.
Nope, I lost it.
Sound it out.
Yeah, no, can't forget you now. Um, yeah, no, the movie, I think it's good. I think it's a good movie. At least I can enjoy the things you're supposed to enjoy about it, like the action and some of the comedy. I don't think it's meant to be like a strong plot wise movie.
No.
And I think once you get past that, then you're like, oh yeah, I can see how this is a good movie.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely texted you like 10 minutes in, was like, what am I watching?
Yeah, yeah. It's a trip. It's a trip for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's
More of a trip. It's more of a visual experience. It's more of them being like, let's see what we can do with this medium and in this art form and with these new visual effects and like how silly can we make the action sequences at the same time.
yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely so I actually have like a bit of a history with this movie. I used to watch this movie a lot on Comedy Central. And I remember
I knew there was something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Comedy Central, that's what's wrong.
But
They should have canceled that years ago.
they should have they don't, most of the time they don't know what comedy is. So but they put this on there. This was on the rerun list for a really long time. And I would watch this and I'm being straight honest with you right now. Back when I first watched it when I was a kid, I did not know it was a comedy. I thought it was like a serious like action movie. Cuz like I've said it before, like
yeah, 'cause they do have jokes like straight up action movies will still have jokes in them and stuff, but you thought like every action sequence and encounter and stuff was just a drama.
Yeah, like I did not recognize, like, because everybody plays it so straight that it deceived me as a child and made, like, the scene with the knives and like the snakes, that went right over my head. I did not know that was supposed to be funny when I was a kid.
This guy.
Yeah. I
This
was
guy's watching Comedy Central for Oscars.
I was a dumb kid. I'll just say that for sure. I was a dumb kid.
That's funny. You know the movie Get Smart?
Yes.
Or the original show?
Yes.
So I remember seeing the shoe phone as a little kid and not knowing that that was like a 007 riff.
Oh, okay.
So I do kind of understand where like you're a little bit younger, because I remember seeing that way later and being like, "Oh, that's supposed to be a joke."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it happens. And I think, like I said, I think my distinction between this movie and not being able to tell it was a comedy is like the fact that I did not. One, it's like when you're a kid, certain things are like off-putting about like different kinds of movies. Like it was a foreign film, so like it's subbed, so like you can't pick up on certain inflections that people are supposed to be giving off because it's not in a language you recognize. And then some of the jokes, like I already mentioned, are like more catered towards like an Eastern audience. And so like me being a Western audience kid and being a kid not being able to pick up on even a lot of Western humor, a lot of the humor just went over my head. I could not tell what I was looking at was supposed to be stupid.
You're just there for the kicks, dude.
Exactly. I was just there for
I
like
just wanted a
kicks.
roundhouse into somebody through a building. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely, but I was into it. I was still into it. I watched it a bunch because I loved the action sequences. It was really captivating. Um, and I also love like there's like a significant and detailed power scale throughout the movie. So like you have,
You love power scaling.
I love power scaling, and this movie has such a unique power scaling like chart, right? Like you've got the guys at the bottom.
You're not serious right now.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
You're so silly.
Like you've got the guys
Like,
at the bottom.
I have a tier system. This is how the ranking of Kung Fu Hustle power.
At the bottom of the tier is Sing's friend, the fat guy, who falls asleep in the barber chair.
Bone, come on, put some respect on his name.
Respect on his name. He's at the bottom.
Hard singing Bone though.
He's at the bottom. Above that is like a lot of the residents at the apartment complex, like the tall guy, the muscly kid, the farmer lady. All those people are like in their tier, right? Then you have the Axe Gang, I think is above that. And
you
then
you think they're that low on the power scale?
Yeah, I mean, because the Axe Gang comes in and they start tormenting a lot of the residents that are like the normal people, like the tall guy, the farmer. They come in and they start like fucking them up. So the Axe Gang, just based on sheer number alone, right, and the fact that they use axes, is like puts them above the normal residents of this complex.
Hey man, it's your power scale, you know. I'm just living in it.
And then above the Axe Gang is like the 3 Kung Fu masters, right? Those guys.
Oh, it's that big of a jump, we're saying.
Yes, there's a huge jump, a significant
jump. Dude, go on.
So you got those 3. I can't really like scale, and they're all on the same level because they do like a small sparring session, which is really cool, where they all fight each other, and it's like even. It's like dead even. So like they're on the same tier. Nobody's above each other on that tier. And above that is the musician assassins. I forget what their names are, but like the guys that play the string instrument and like do all the shit with like the ghost swords and stuff, which is again, it's another like crazy thing you have to try and visualize. But they're up there. They're above the 3 masters. Above them is the landlord and the landlady, because they're uber powerful. Above them is the beast. And then above the beast, you have our main character Sing. In his like in his yeah.
Hit him with the wushu finger hold.
Yeah. The Buddha palm. I loved how the Beast, in order to like, I guess like how he got his name is he does like the frog thing. He does the frog maneuver, or he turns into a frog,
Yeah.
and that's how he
Stole
got.
straight from Naruto.
That's how, yeah, that's how he got the name of the Beast. The Beast in this question is a frog.
Scary, scary thought.
Yeah. Uh, no, but yeah, I had fun with this one.
I did too. I'm making fun of it, but I had a good time. I thought it was real silly.
Yeah. This is so right before this movie, Stephen Chow did a movie called Shaolin Soccer. I don't know if
Which
you've
I
ever.
have seen.
So you've seen it. I have not seen it.
It's exactly the same, but they're playing soccer.
Right. So it's basically like the same kind of humor, the same kind of like goofiness.
The
Is
same special effects.
is the action kind of the same?
Oh yeah,
I can't
like it's
imagine
the
what it would
same,
look
like
like.
the same. Yeah, like the same kind of special effects, the same like emphasis on like playing it straight while the silliest shit ever just happened.
Right.
Like somebody will kick a soccer ball and it'll like look like it's entering the atmosphere at Mach 7, and then somebody palms it and everybody's like,
That's funny. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more. If we ever did more like this, I would be fine with that. Like,
I would definitely want to do one on challenge soccer and just the same kind of thing. Just be like, what a movie!
yeah,
People paid money,
what a silly film.
sat down.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Is Stephen Chow in this one too? Stephen Chow is in this one, so he stars in a lot of his movies. I guess
Yeah, I think he's the goalie in that one,
that's funny. But Kung Fu Hustle is
but I could be
easily
mistaken.
like the biggest thing he's done,
I could see.
because I think it was Shaolin
It seemed very
Soccer.
big in scope.
Yeah, he did Shaolin Soccer, and it was like really big, and then he did Kung Fu Hustle 3 years later, and then that was really big, and that like surpassed what he had done. One thing I want to mention real quick: the guy that does play the racial slur guy, whose name I still cannot pronounce,
So silly.
is a Xing Yu, and he was in a movie that I really like called Kung Fu Killer. If you've ever seen that.
Nope.
So so that's a movie we got to watch, probably like on our own at some point. That's another. He was in Ip Man. Where is Kung Fu Killer? I could have sworn he was in that movie. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody
It's
else.
gonna be a different movie.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking about somebody else. But he was in Ip Man. I don't know who he was in Ip Man. He was in Ip Man. Lin, the older brother of one of the main characters. Maybe that's where I'm recognizing him from. Because I thought he was in Kung Fu Killer, but I was wrong. That's
This
okay.
guy.
That's okay. We
This
circled.
guy doesn't do his research.
We circled.
Doesn't do his
We, s-
homework.
we circle back to
Isn't
Itmon.
prepared.
We circle back to Itmon, which is just a sign that we're supposed to do Itmon
Hey,
at some
you'll
point in the
always
future.
bring it back up.
Yes. Yes, I
You'll
do.
always find a way to talk about it. It's like Joe Rogan and Dear Me. Come on.
What? I don't know these are references. Oh,
Well, I'm sorry. I threw one out there.
it didn't catch. It didn't land.
It happens.
It happens. And one more thing I wanted to mention real quick is that there's a Bruce Lee reference in the movie. Do you remember when the Axe Gang was sitting outside the complex at night and the landlord and the landlady were beating up the musician assassins, and then they kind of like broke into the car of the Axe Gang, and it was like they did it really silently and they were just there all of a sudden, and the leader of the Axe Gang is like looking at the landlady, and the landlady looks at him and she does like this motion with her hands where she's like, you don't, basically saying like, you don't fuck with us anymore.
And then she wipes her nose.
Yeah, that is a reference to Bruce Lee in the movie Return of the Dragon, also known as Way of the Dragon. the one where he fights Chuck Norris. And I just thought that was really, because Bruce Lee does the exact same like hand motions and stuff like that that she does. So just a really like subtle, just random and subtle Bruce Lee reference.
Gotta have it in a kung fu movie. I'm just saying.
Yep. Well, we hit the obligatory 30 minutes. So you ready to wrap? You ready to wrap it up?
For sure, dog. I loved it. Great time. Would definitely watch more Stephen Chow movies. He's so silly. He's so quirky. He's the Quentin Tarantino of over there. I love to see him.
What a compliment. Speaking of Quentin
I love to see
Tarantino,
him.
I think that's the one we're doing next.
Oh, look at this. I'm segueing right up to you.
Yeah, that's so we're supposed to be doing Django Unchained next. With another special guest who will hopefully be here this time.
If you say so.
Hopefully. I'll try.
I think that you're just buttering me up and saying that I'm the special guest
every time. You're always the special guest. All the
Hey,
time.
I'm always on time.
You're always here. You're always on time. You always respond to my texts.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, but I'll get in contact with our hopefully special guest, and we'll get something going. That's it from us, you guys. Definitely don't forget, this goes up on YouTube the next day. You're the best, you're the best. And yeah, it's gonna be it from us. Bye.
Good night.